welcome back, man. It's been good. It's nice to have you back. Last time we were talking about music.
Oh yeah, and it was a fun chat. It's great to be back on the BackSeat Chatroom.
Yep.
Can I introduce myself?
Yeah, you go right ahead, man.
It's your point of mix, and I'm excited to be here, man. It's been hectic.
What's been hectic? You tell me, man.
Lots of things happening, man. Lots of things happening. Apparently, wearing a blue suit can lead to violence. apparently.
I'm not even going to say anything about that, man. I'm not even going to say anything about that.
Fit blue suit can lead to fits of violence.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, social media, man.
Yeah, social media, powerful tool.
Powerful tool. But the question is it good or bad?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What do you use social media for?
I don't know. I want to attack the first thing you said, good or bad.
Yeah.
Good or bad for me is like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. You know, He-Man is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Skeletor is bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can have such a fine line with social media. I think there's some good that comes out of social media.
Definitely.
And obviously, some pretty awful stuff that come out of social media. I think how you use it. I think it's a tool. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a tool. I mean,
how use the tool.
It's like if you've got a hammer at home, you know what a hammer is supposed to be used for. Yeah, or a screwdriver.
Yes, and you have a disagreement with someone.
You see now,
the screwdriver now
can be a bad tool.
Exactly.
But generally speaking, it's a good tool.
It's a good tool, exactly.
So what social media is made for, what we're saying here, what social media is intended for as a tool is for good.
A very sharp tool.
But we tend to, is using social media the way we use it as Zimbabweans. I'll narrow it down to Zimbabwe here. As Zimbabweans, do we use it generally as a good tool or as a bad tool?
I think recently, when we look at the situation that's been doing the rounds right now, the most exciting thing, I mean, it's depressing when you think about it, but the most exciting thing that's happening in social media is that it's been used to raise awareness. I was talking about that issue. I think you saw it as well.
Yeah.
About that awful teacher.
Yes,
exactly. That devil in a blue suit.
Making us all look bad.
Yeah. I mean, to see a video where a teacher is literally engaged in violating these students, and to see him literally want to beat down his kid. Without social media, I don't think there would have been an outrage.
It would have been something that happened in the classroom. It would have been like he was the teacher beaten.
His word against everybody else. So I think in that aspect, with the Zim context, seeing social media being used to raise awareness about injustice, about things that I think happen. I don't think it's the only bad apple. Because apples come from trees.
Yes.
There is a tree of teachers like that.
Like that, true.
There is. And I wish more kids will have devices and record. So I wanna salute whoever recorded the devil in the blue suit. Whoever is recording, it's a play. No, it's a devil in a blue suit. Thank you for that.
I was actually going to ask is people keep talking about the teacher and the child was getting beaten and so forth, and no one seems to talk about the person who recorded.
That's what we're talking about right now. You know?
So
salute. I want to give that person some flowers.
Yeah, because somebody has to give recognition to him. No,
and the person who recorded must be female.
Why? Why though?
Because I think generally speaking, females have the best recall. You know. They were the best memory. They know what you did last month, in the month before. So I want to salute that female who did the job.
So your take though on the judgment on that case, did you hear the judgment?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to pay attention to the judgment because I was upset about something else.
Okay.
When it came out. When we saw it, there was outrage.
Yeah.
What is this man doing?
Yes.
You know, he's a teacher and he's beating down this kid. He wants to headbutt. I mean, I don't know. He wants to play soccer with his kids' head. But the thing that upset me most was that I realized that entire video, the kids aren't reacting. They're not going to call out for help.
Yeah.
And that bystander mentality is what started making me mad. I was like, how often do we do that? Of course, this time there was a video to document it. But when something wrong is happening, we just look. We don't have reference points like if somebody is in danger, what should you do? Those kids didn't even scream.
Yes, they found it entertaining
and found a senior teacher or a head mistress or something. But they were just watching. So it's almost like if that kid had been harmed in a terrible way, it would have been on video. It's almost like seeing somebody committing suicide.
Yeah.
Intervene before things. So I was upset about that. Children need to be empowered. They need to know where to refer. Referral points. If you see something bad happening, who do you go to get the help? I think that's also a conversation that should be had.
Yeah, true. I agree, but I don't know if it's just our society. I don't know if it's how we've all been raised to grow up.
No.
It's almost like when I look at social media, it's a gossiping tool as far as Zimbabwe is concerned.
Like I said, it's a tool.
Yeah. So at a Zimbabwean perspective, we tend to be the ones who want to distribute the juiciest gospel.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about gospel though, but
I don't know, but the gospel is juicy.
Yeah, well, okay. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. As Zimbabweans, we just like to be the ones who are controlling the juiciest news.
I don't know if it's a Zimbabwean thing, you know.
Is it a world thing?
I think it's a world thing. I think social media, I think it's an alter ego thing. It's a place where you can be your worst self, your best self. You can reinvent yourself on social media. So I think it's not a Zimbabwean thing. I think it came to us. We are veiled with this platform where you can run with it, and people want to be famous and want to be liked. So whatever is the most exciting tidbit of news, that's what we run with. Even when that thing was being spread about that teacher, not everybody was spreading it because they wanted to raise awareness about child abuse or violence in schools. Some were doing it because it's clickbait.
True.
You want to get followers.
You
want people to talk about you as well. You want people to say this is where you get the latest. So that's there as well. And I think another aspect of social media that I think we need to look at is the fact that there are things there that deliberately are harming our society.
True.
And we're not saying anything about it.
Yeah,
we're buying bundles, but we know that there's a cesspool on social media. There are people sharing things that are untoward on social media. There's profanity on social media. So it's not just the good side. We know there's terrible things happening there.
And but controlling it? How do we control it then? Can we control it?
I don't know about control, but I think we can limit.
But that's more of a personal thing. Like the way I was raised. Let me talk about the way I was raised.
Talk about the way you.
I was raised before social media. I was raised to respect people. That's a very long time. That's a very long time ago. I was raised. No, it's not. No.
They're working on it.
No.
No. Go away.
No, I was saying I was raised to respect people. I was raised to understand that we've got different opinions. But different opinions doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get along. And that's just a.
Although it does.
Okay.
Although it does.
It's a basic fundamental thing.
It's very difficult to have two people with different opinions getting along.
No, like when we're saying getting along, whatever we disagree on, it's one issue. It doesn't make everything about us. So what I'm simply saying is, yes, we can disagree on an element, but that doesn't mean that as people we can't get along.
Okay, so what are you saying? You're raised to respect people.
Exactly. So with social media today and
a lot of disrespect.
There's the streets, my guy.
Disrespect.
I go on Twitter just to read comments. I don't make comments.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying, that there is things wrong there, and we know about it, but we're not talking about it. There's cyberbullying on social media. There's people trolling other people on social media. But our kids are exposed to that. Everybody, even adults, are exposed to that. There's intimidation on social media.
True.
So I'm saying there are aspects that we know they're wrong, and we should have a conversation about those as well. And that's what I'm saying, that you can limit access. While I was saying you can limit access, you can identify people who are intimidating other people, who are trolling people, and ban them on social media, or suspend them. And it's happened. I mean, President Trump.
True, but that's unfortunately we don't really control all these international media platforms.
No, but I was giving an example. Like here locally, our service providers can block access to certain accounts. They can do that. And you can identify who's been doing this misbehavior. If somebody is sharing explicit content, it's very easy to block that SIM card. But we're not having that conversation, and we should. We can't solve it all, but we can get to work. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
before we get into that, just let's pay the bills here. So we've got First Mutual Life Microfinance here. They say, do you need assistance with paying school fees for your children? Perhaps you will need to cover unforeseen medical bills, buy a car, and make renovations to your home, and even for your small business or simply for income. First Mutual Microfinance is here for loans to include personal loans, SME business loans, asset finance, and order finance. You can also access the First Mutual Microfinance loan from anywhere around Zimbabwe. Simply contact us anytime, and I'm going to put all the numbers on screen. So yeah, I think okay, we've talked about social media as far as how Zimbabwe has been taking it. How do you think corporates take it? Corporates, how are they using social, if at all?
If at all.
If at all.
I think there was one opportunity where as Zimbabwean population got an insight into how far the corporates have engaged with social media. When COVID came.
Yes.
When
that was a shocker.
Locked down everybody physically. But social media was free.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you expected that there'd be a big uptick. That the world of social media would be awash with corporate gigs or corporate platforms coming forward. I think it's shocking that we have a situation where now the most powerful tool is e-commerce. It's getting online. A lot of businesses aren't online or don't have a presence that's recognizable. There's people doing comedy, stand-up comedy or skits on social media with more views and more subscribers than corporates.
And that's funny.
Crazy.
That's funny.
No, seriously. telling some stale jokes and getting more.
Yes.
You know, the devil in the blue suit got more traction than some corporate entities. And then of course you also had all these other big showcases that happened. You look at Trade Fair, you look at the Agric Show. I thought there'd be like a boom of corporate presence during those times. But all those things happened and there was an uptick. So I don't know if it's because they're skeptic about social media or they don't have the manpower behind it or the expertise.
My take though,
what's your take?
My take on this whole issue is I think we just have the wrong people running the businesses. That's what it comes down to.
Are they technophobes?
And that's what they are. And I think there's also some misconceptions that I feel I need to correct sometimes. I do agree that social media is relatively new on planet Earth, ultimately. So yes, you've got the youth being very tech savvy on social media. I've got no problems with that. But I will also argue that our age group, because I'm
your age group.
Yeah, and this is like the mid-40s, dude.
I am much younger.
In whichever way you want to look at it, the mid-40s, my guy, is the way I look at it is like I studied computer science, and I've always been a computer person. I love my computers to bits, right? So the way I use social media it's a business. I see nothing but business when it comes to social media. So in fact, I make a good portion of my income off social media. So that's how I see social media, and I'm not even a popular guy. I don't even have the numbers that are there.
Say that, when you talk about age, when you talk about yourself, there are people who are heads of corporates right now, same age as you. So what's the disconnect? You get
the disconnect is
why can't they get it?
The disconnect is not so much about they can't do it. The disconnect is the structures that we've put in corporates are such that we have a level of authorizing things before they go public, especially for corporates. And the problem with social media is instant. If something happens today and you want to have a week's meeting in the boardroom, so it's not going to be relevant. By the time you get there, there's something new happening. I'll give you a typical example of a company that's on the ball. Mambos is on the ball. Whether we agree with the messaging or not.
Mambos, you're on the ball.
Yeah, whether we agree with the messaging or not is another issue altogether. But they are on the ball as far as putting their brand out there with things that are happening now. And the only reason that happens, in my opinion, is because somebody high up the ladder in Mambos understands that you need to let social media have a certain amount of freedom. Whoever is running the social media, and I know it's these two girls, can't remember the names though, they're definitely on point.
The girls from Mambos.
Yes, they're definitely on point.
Really plug these guys.
Yeah.
Mambos, get on board.
Yeah, can we have some, what do they?
The last freebie.
Manny Pereira burger.
This is the thing, when I hear you talking about that perhaps is the structure, I think anywhere in the world there's an organogram. There's accountability, there's a way things are authorized. I don't think it's an issue about that, because I don't think you can reinvent the wheel. There's always going to be a structure of how things happen. I think what's lacking is innovation. That's it. Like people being able to change the way they do with their business in line with the current environment. That's innovation.
Yes.
Innovating. You have to get to a place where somebody says, if I do things like this, it will attract this new clientele that I have. But when you're satisfied with your old clientele, you're not going to innovate. And I think that's what we have with some of these people who are heading these corporates. They're not seeing it as, they're not seeing any value.
Yes,
they can't even imagine making $1.
And the reason why they don't see value is because of the stuff that's pushed on social media. If I can imagine a CEO.
I don't think so. I don't think they get on social media. No, see, I don't think some of these CEOs actually follow social media. Because if you did, you'd say, wait a second. If Madam Boss has got X amount, 20,000 views, how do I monetize that? You know what I'm saying? If they were serious about social media, you say, if Comic Pastor can get 200,000 views, how can I monetize that? Because they'll be thinking about how can I have product synchronicity.
Yes, true.
How can I run my product
alongside with what they're doing?
You know, but they're not doing that because that's innovation. You know, why I'm saying that is that, for example, you walk in town today, you walk into any shop selling techno or selling ITEL, you see a poster of Diamond Platinums.
Yes, true.
Diamond Platinum.
And he's not even Zimbabwean.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like
a huge poster of a Tanzanian artist in Zim. A shop trying to sell to Zimbabweans would rather put a poster of Diamond Platinums than run with artists from here. First of all, it would be way cheaper to get a local guy to be on that poster, and it would be way more recognizable.
True.
Imagine if you got something like not even Jump Praise. You know, you could lower it down a bit and say, okay, let's get T-Gons.
Yes.
On ITEL or Techno.
Did you just say lower down a bit and say T-Gons in one sentence?
Lower down to the levels of the masters. Try to recover there. No, but Diamond is nice. But Diamond is nice.
I don't know. So you recognize, right? So you see why they've got Diamond.
No, but what I'm trying to get is that there's a value system which is flawed. That's what I'm saying. You can put Diamond Platinums, but you can't see any value in the people who are actually more recognizable in your community. I'm talking about innovation. Diamond Platinum is great for Tanzania.
Yes.
It makes sense to put him on your flyer. But for Zim, you've got to localize. Localize. Analyze and localize. I just made that up. No, I hear you. I hear you. Hey, today we plugged in Mambos. We plugged in Madam Boss, Comic Pastor. Recognize game. Comic Pastor. I'm checking the Ikokesh.
No, but ultimately, I think maybe just to close off the whole discussion at the end. I think yes, we do agree.
Lack of innovation.
And why are we lacking innovation? Why are we lacking
people in place? This is what I'm saying. It's not the structure.
You know.
The wrong people.
This brings me back. It brings me back to a conversation I had. I won't say which company it was.
Because you're scared to plug them that they might sponsor the
show.
This chasing away man.
Anyway, a particular company.
Give us the name of the company.
I unfortunately I can't do that. All I can say is I had a conversation with the head of marketing at a particular company, and I didn't even start this conversation. They called me because they said, "Hey, look, we saw what you've done here and we like what you do. Let's have a conversation." So I attended a meeting, but in this meeting, all I could understand was they called me there to tell me how it doesn't work for their company, and I don't get it. I just don't get it.
So they called you up to let you know that they would never be interested in what you do.
That's what's surprising.
Why did they invite you?
That's the confusing part, because I'm looking at it because my mind races, especially when it comes to social media. So when I look at any corporate, I see 1,000,001 ways that they can make money, and that's just how my mind works. And when I talk to companies about, guys, do you know you could?
Let me put you on the spot right now. Think about Mambos.
Yes.
Give them crumb. Like, what would they do right now?
Mambos.
Social media. Give them a crumb.
I think
Mambos, you must listen.
Okay, this is what I would do, and this is coming off the bat right now. Mambos is very good at what they're doing right now, but if I was there, what I would do to add on to what they're doing, let me talk to this camera here. What I would do to add on to what they're doing is simple. Every organization that does takeaway, Mambos included, has got obvious costs.
We have to introduce it right. Okay,
okay, introduce it.
Get ready for Loud 5 breadcrumbs. Give them the crumbs.
Here comes the crumbs, man.
Give them the crumbs.
Make sure you've got someone to collect this because I got lots of crumbs. Anyway, I was saying, any organization that does takeaway basically has got a very low cost structure as far as producing food is concerned. What they charge is a matter of branding. Right. So ultimately, that's why a lot of food companies can afford to have like Tuesdays where they give extra somethings.
Yeah, some companies don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in particular, as far as I've never seen Mambo's do any giveaways. You know what the thing is with social media? Social media wants a give and take. What's a give and take? Imagine if I just simply said, share this flyer or take a selfie in front of the Mambo's takeout and stand a chance to get a free burger tomorrow. Right. The issue is not about who gets burgers. You might be wanting to give 10 burgers, but I assure you get thousands of people take selfies. So what that does ultimately is it gives an impression that people out there are all coming to Mambo's, even though you give away 10 burgers. But if you came, exactly. But if you came up and you said, I want to pay everybody who wants to take a selfie here and so forth, that's a different ball game because suddenly everybody wants to be paid. And that's how our marketers tend to think. They keep thinking, who is the artist who's doing great right now? How much do they want? And if I'm the artist who's doing great, guaranteed I'll give you a bill. But the ordinary man on the streets who is there on social media, who's got a smartphone of some kind, can bring value to your organizations. And corporates don't seem to see that. And it's a win-win situation.
So you're saying, Mambo's, stop being stingy, have some give out.
I'm saying everybody, any corporate can do that.
I mean, you're a king, Mambo's.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah, true. And when you go to the king's house, you get a free burger. Yeah. Hey, Mambo's, hey. Today we had.
Those are loud 5 breadcrumbs.
Yeah, breadcrumbs. Let me put a new set of breadcrumbs, right? So yeah, I know we've said a lot. We've spoken a lot about the teacher. Yeah. We've spoken a lot about the corporates, the Zimbabwean corporates that. The devil in a blue suit.
He's a boxer, maybe wrestler, martial arts expert.
I liked the way one newspaper put it when they're talking about his judgment thing. They said,
what was the judgment?
An unqualified maths teacher.
This
is a guy with a VITS degree. An unqualified. Yeah, I was he's got a VITS degree, an engineering degree.
So what would they say is unqualified?
He's not trained as a teacher. They were playing around with the words, I guess. So they said,
what was the judgment anyway? I missed that.
The judgment was he was given community service. He was given 630 hours community service, and he started, and in at Parenyatu actually. He started yesterday, I think. Yeah. So there's something right there. Imagine this.
What do you think? Yeah.
If I was an educational institution that wants to attract people, for example, there's an opportunity right there. Go right out to this dude, take selfies, and introduce your corporate on it. Easy social media marketing tool with him. I'm pretty sure right now. Exactly. Do you know how that works? How it works is simple. He attracted a whole number, and anything that's about him right now.
In the world.
Anything about him right now
for being the worst person in the world.
True, but okay. Let me put it this way. Bad news sells, whether you like it or not.
Well, it's a conversation for another day. But what I'm saying, what do you think about the judgment? Community service was not enough. I don't want to wrap this up.
Okay. I don't think it was enough.
He was
but I understood what. He was given 2 years jail. I think it was 18 months on it, 24 months, but it's almost like 2 years. Initially, then all those were suspended, and then he was given the 600 and so many hours.
Kids' windows and mops floors.
Hey,
I want that deal. No, seriously, if I knew that I could commit a crime and the option would be mopping floors and cleaning windows.
But my God, like I said, that's a story for another day.
Screwdrivers lying around.
Dude.
Screwdrivers lying around. I don't know. Do you know what I thought?
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, whatever license he has to teach should be suspended.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not the profession for him. I'm a qualified teacher.
Yeah.
It takes a certain type of composure to deal with kids.
Exactly, because they will strain you, they will drag
kids,
you.
By definition,
especially today's kids.
Go into any dictionary and find out.
Yeah.
Kids, by any definition, are about raising your blood temperature. blood pressure is messed up. I mean, kids wind you up.
Yeah.
So when you go for teacher training, you do courses in psychology and sociology.
Exactly.
Where you learn to understand that kids are acting out.
Yes.
Because they're going through these changes.
Exactly.
It's not them.
Yes.
It's just a process. So you need to be in a mindset where you're ready to deal with that. When I watched that video, I realized that he lost his temper.
Yes, he did, and he definitely did.
And that's a red line for me. Because no parent wants to expose their kids to an adult who will lose his temper.
Yeah, true.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Get this straight.
Do you know what the kid did though?
Kids do despicable things.
Do you know what the kid did?
Hear me out, let me finish.
Yeah.
Kids do despicable things.
Yes.
I was in school. Kids would do despicable things.
You did despicable things in school?
I knew people who did despicable things. now they're doing podcasts.
Okay.
Now they're doing podcasts. They've reformed. But my point is this.
Yeah.
You don't deal with kids with violence. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's very important. As a matter of fact, in this country, you're not allowed to hit kids.
Yeah, true.
Just for the record, just in case people wondering, but what's wrong? Give them a headbutt. No, don't give kids headbutts. Don't hit them. You're supposed to find ways to reform them.
Yes.
Okay? And there are things that are there in place in any school where you deal with acts of indiscipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I hear the conversation about, do you know what he did? For me, I'm like, are you serious? This grown man is headbutting this child. The balance of power is very slight in one direction.
Yeah.
This kid can hit him back. But this is his teacher.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a ground and we say, your kid, you're allowed to hit him back? Then you see the devil in the blue suit will be running away now. Because now the kid will be doing all manner of kung fu and whatever. You know, kamehamehas and stuff like that. So abuse is abuse.
Yeah,
it's
true.
almost like when people talk about gender-based violence.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the woman did. It doesn't matter what the men did. Violence is a despicable act
True,
in a modern day society.
100%.
It's the 21st century. And I want people to know that. We have to get to a place where we call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Violence is unacceptable in modern society. Any form of violence.
True, you heard that.
There it is.
Violence is unacceptable in any society, whether it's children, whether it's women, or whether it's politics, whichever
Or people
we
doing a
do
podcast.
not condone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine if I jumped over this microphone.
When they're in school.
But anyway, guys, it's been fun. It's been fun. It always is.
I wanted to say,
yeah, I know, but you know how it is. Time is not on our side.
Shout out to Mambos.
Yeah, shout out to Mambos, man. Mambos. Next week we'll have burgers here. Next week,
guys,
yeah.
So for social media,
yeah,
Mambos gave us some burgers, then we put them up front here.
Exactly. In fact, this is a social experiment. This is a social experiment.
Mambos.
It was not in the script to talk about Mambos, but we did a lot about Mambos. So Mambos, if you are watching this, can we have burgers for our next thing? And we'll pick it up from there. No, it's been nice. It's been nice.
Thanks, Love 5.
No, pleasure's always ours to have this conversation with you, with everybody. Because this is what we do. It's been the BackSeat Chatroom and episode 2. And counting. Feel free to want to join us, and if you've got topics that you want us to discuss and talk about, feel free. So until next time, we out.